Meet Daniel. 2 years ago, he was working a regular 9 to 5 job, driving past gas stations every single day without a second thought. Today he owns one, and by the end of this video, you will understand exactly how he got there, dollar by dollar. Daniel always assumed gas stations made their money from fuel. That was his first mistake, and honestly, it is the same mistake almost every beginner makes. The truth surprised him, and it is about to surprise you too. A gas station is not really a fuel business. It is a convenience business that happens to sell gas. Once Daniel understood that one idea, everything about his search, his budget, and his entire plan completely changed direction. Let's break down Daniel's numbers, because this is where it gets real. His station sells around 80,000 gallons of fuel a month. At a fuel margin of about 10 cents per gallon, that is roughly $8,000 in fuel profit. Not exactly life-changing on its own. But here is what most people never realize. Daniel's convenience store brings in about $40,000 a month in sales. With a typical 30% profit margin on snacks, drinks, and coffee, that is around $12,000 in pure profit. Suddenly the real picture appears. Combine the two, and Daniel's station generates roughly $20,000 a month in combined profit before expenses. That sounds amazing, until you meet his monthly bills, because this is where many beginners get blindsided completely. Payroll for his part-time employees runs about $12,000 a month. Insurance costs him roughly $800. Utilities run around $1,500. Credit card processing fees quietly another $3,000, since almost every fuel sale happens by card. Add maintenance costs, fuel delivery fees, and his SBA loan payment of about $5,500 a month, and Daniel's real take-home profit lands somewhere between $3,000 and $5,000 a month during his first year. Not the overnight fortune most beginners imagine. This is where many new owners panic and quit too early. But Daniel understood something important. The first year is about survival and learning, not massive profit. Picture yourself in his shoes, watching numbers slowly climb instead of expecting instant riches. Let's go back to how Daniel found his location, because this decision shaped everything that followed. He almost bought a station on a quiet side street, until a local business owner warned him that traffic there had been declining for years. Instead, Daniel chose a location near a busy highway exit, close to a growing residential neighborhood with zero nearby competition. That single decision, choosing the right corner instead of the cheaper one, ended up defining his station's entire future success. Location does not just affect profit, it becomes the profit. Two identical stations can exist 1 mile apart, one thriving with cars lined up, the other quietly struggling and closing within a year. Daniel's story could have gone either way. Now let's talk startup costs, because Daniel did not build from scratch. Building brand new, including land, construction, and underground tanks, often costs between $1 and $3 million. Instead, Daniel bought an existing station with proven sales history for around $700,000. Here is something most beginners completely forget to budget for: underground fuel tanks. Even on an existing property, inspecting and sometimes replacing these tanks can cost well over $100,000. Daniel nearly skipped this inspection, a mistake that could have cost him everything later. To finance his purchase, Daniel used an SBA loan, putting down roughly 15%, around $105,000, and financing the rest. His monthly loan payment of $5,500 became his biggest fixed expense, one he had to plan around carefully. Here is where many beginners make a costly mistake, assuming approval happens quickly. Daniel's SBA loan took nearly 4 months to finalize, requiring detailed financial documents, tax returns, and a solid business plan. Starting that paperwork early saved him from missing his purchase window. Licenses nearly overwhelmed Daniel too. He needed a business license, a fuel retailer license, environmental permits, fire department approval, health department approval for his store, and local zoning sign-off. Miss even one, and opening day gets delayed by weeks or months. Environmental rules were non-negotiable. Daniel had to prove his tanks pass leak detection testing, since a slow undetected leak can silently contaminate soil and groundwater. Skipping this step is not just risky, it can bring fines large enough to bankrupt a new owner. Insurance felt expensive at first, but Daniel learned quickly why it mattered. Liability insurance, property insurance, and environmental coverage protected him from disasters he never even considered, like a customer accident or an unexpected fuel spill during delivery. Managing employees became Daniel's next real challenge. His station runs nearly 18 hours a day, requiring cashiers across multiple shifts. One untrained employee mishandling cash or fuel safety procedures during a busy shift could turn one bad night into a costly disaster. Inside his convenience store, Daniel discovered a hidden profit secret. Phone chargers, energy drinks, and lottery tickets carried massive markups compared to their cost. Small adjustments to his shelf layout alone increased his monthly store profit by several $100s almost immediately. Choosing a fuel supplier taught Daniel another lesson the hard way. He almost signed a 10-year contract with strict pricing terms before a mentor advised him to negotiate shorter terms first. This is where many beginners make a costly mistake, one that follows them for years. Security became personal for Daniel after a nearby station got robbed late one night. He invested in cameras, alarms, and bright lighting immediately. That investment was not just about protecting money, it was about protecting his employees and his own peace of mind. Now here is something most new owners learn the hard way, and Daniel was no exception. Electric vehicles are reshaping this entire industry. Customers who once bought gas every week are slowly shifting toward charging at home instead, changing long-term demand patterns. Instead of ignoring this shift, Daniel added two charging stalls beside his traditional pumps. Picture a customer plugging in for 20 minutes, then walking into his store to buy coffee and snacks while waiting. That waiting time quietly became pure additional profit. By his second year, Daniel's monthly profit grew from around $4,000 to nearly $10,000 as customer traffic increased and his convenience store sales climbed. This is where patience finally started paying off in a real, measurable way. Most gas stations take 1 to 3 years to become fully profitable, and Daniel's journey followed that same realistic timeline. There was no overnight miracle, just steady, careful growth built on smart decisions made early, 1 month at a time. Looking back, Daniel's biggest mistake was almost skipping the tank inspection to save money upfront. His smartest decision was choosing location over cost and negotiating shorter supplier contracts. Small choices like these quietly determine his entire financial future. Now imagine your own version of this story. Imagine unlocking the doors of your own station early one morning, watching the first customer pull in before sunrise. Imagine checking your numbers each week, watching that convenience store profits slowly climb month after month. Imagine training your own employees, negotiating your own supplier contracts, and making the same tough decisions Daniel made, some right, some learned the hard way. Every gas station owner has a story like this one, filled with risk, mistakes, and slow, earned progress. This business is not a shortcut to overnight wealth, and anyone promising that is lying to you. It demands real capital, strict regulations, long hours, and patience most people underestimate. But for someone willing to prepare seriously, it can build lasting, long-term wealth. Picture yourself 5 years from now, standing behind your own counter, watching a business you built from careful planning instead of blind excitement. Fuel pumps outside, a thriving store behind you, and steady profit growing every single month because of decisions you made today. That image is powerful, but only real preparation turns it into reality. Daniel did not succeed because he got lucky. He succeeded because he studied every number, respected every risk, and refused to skip the boring details that most beginners ignore completely. So ask yourself honestly, are you willing to do what Daniel did? Study your market, respect the numbers, and commit 2 years of steady effort instead of overnight excitement. If this video gave you real value, take that first step seriously, starting today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you found even a little value in it, please consider subscribing to the channel. I'm a new creator, and every single subscriber means a lot to me. Your support motivates me to keep creating better content and bringing you more valuable videos in the future. Thank you for spending your time with me today. Remember, big success starts with small steps, and the decisions you make today can change your future. Subscribe, stay connected, and I'll see you in the next video.